but believe me, it's a small one. And I know I have 30 minutes, right? My dear friend Ravindra, who also is my classmate, we have sometimes discussed things over nights. And I say overnight, okay? So we never used to sleep sometimes. It happened in the hostels. But it was a great time, and I always cherish those memories. Dr. Inamdar, Professor Deshpande, all the dignitaries of the dais, and all the professors, and most important, all my dearest students. You know, today really it's a tough call. You know, about a month ago, I have been reading and thinking and getting dejected with all the news that we are getting in the newspaper, on the television, on the international magazines. And I'm talking about not the general news, which are also very bad, but I'm talking about the business news that we have been getting recently. And I was just thinking whether what's happening really all over the world. And then I get a call from Professor Inamdar and Ravindra that you are the chief guest for the management school. And I said, this cannot be a chance. So I got an opportunity, to express all that I have been thinking for last 1 or 2 months. And I thank you for this opportunity. First of all, I know that there are some new entrants in this gathering that are joining the college. Who are those? Maybe you raise your hands, please. Who are joining the college now. Okay, and there are some which are outgoing students. Who are those? May I see those? Okay, and some PhD students also here, right? Some PhD. I only wanted to know the placements so that I know where to address what. I'm trying to do that. So in front of all you guys who are the master of business administration or master of computer management, master of so and so, and the doctors and masters, there is nothing much to talk about management. You agree with me? Yeah. So really there is a lot of science available, how to manage, how to achieve your goals, how to let me say achieve the organizational objectives, the personal objectives and everything. So I will not be talking about it because it will be too much of a repetition for you guys. Either you have studied that or you will be studying it. But I would like to today discuss with you something which I said I was thinking about last 1 or 2 months, and that is what to manage. If you look at today's business scenario, it's not very nice. You have businesses which are successful, but on the other count, they are big failures. I can give you examples that many successful organizations perhaps do not care or literally destroy the environment. Have you seen such examples? Or there is a huge accumulation of wealth with little few people. So something is not okay. And then the people who are working, which is the most important constituent, I am not using the word resource, please. Because the organization which thinks that people are resource, there is something basically wrong. They are the most important constituent, they are stressed out. So if you look at this situation, 360 degrees, I feel there is something wrong. And then I was just thinking about what exactly may be wrong, and this is the subject I want to talk to you today. And that will bring us to what to manage. rather than how to manage. How to manage is very clear. There are books, Peter Drucker, Samuelson, Bhate Kulkarni, everything is there. So, first of all, when somebody starts a business, there is how the business starts. Actually, it starts with the belief system, then it starts with the behavior, then it's the business, and then the management, right? So these are the 3 B's: belief system, business, behavior, business, and then the management. So very briefly, I would like to say that in the whole world today, there are 3 major thoughts, 3 major beliefs. What are these 3 major beliefs? One is the Western belief that says that one should be heroic. He must be hero, like the old Roman philosophy. In the Roman there was Achilles and these are the big heroes, the great gods, almost demigods they were called. And this philosophy then came to, in the olden times it was first the heroism, and then it came to the saying that no, heroism is not the only thing, we need a promised land. So this is the Western philosophy where you need a hero and he has to achieve some great things and at any cost. So what happened in this? There are a few examples I want to give. Alexander the Great is a typical example of heroism, that he achieved so much to kill the people, all the people in the world, and wants to become the king of the world. So that is the heroism, but at any cost. And the recent examples are Bill Gates, Microsoft, hero. Yeah, it's a heroism. And then there is Steve Jobs, that is the that is Apple. This is the model when there is one person becoming very important, very great, and achieves a big hero position, an idol position. You will be surprised that the combined wealth of Bill Gates and Warren Buffett, just 2 individuals, is equivalent to the wealth of combined 120 billion people of USA. The 10% people, 1% people of US controls 90% of the wealth. Now you will say that this is a good thing. Somebody is great, somebody is smart and he gets money. What's wrong in it? The problem is that it's always not that one person can get such kind of money. So he will always manipulate. You will have government policies manipulated, you will have the rules manipulated, you will have the systems manipulated, the markets manipulated, and even the consumers manipulated. And now you go in deep and understand how this manipulation happens. I don't want to get into those details. But it may not do the good to everybody. This is the basic fault of capitalism. And what happened during this, that you had a faulty wealth creation. This is the one side of the business. Then they said, you know what, this is not very nice. So the other thought, which is China, Russia kind of success stories, where they said, you know what, we must common good. We want to have common good. And the organizations, if you see in China or in Russia, they are also equally successful. I mean, they are very, very successful. But what's the problem in the Chinese model was that everything has to be orderly. You know, in China, you cannot have confusion. It's not allowed. Anything disorder, not allowed. If the people have to stand, they have to stand in one line. Have you ever seen the march past of the Chinese military? Yeah? It is incredible. They literally see that the eyebrows are in the same line and the neck is in the same line and like that. Literally they go to that extent. So too much of orderliness in Chinese model or Russian model was supposed to be that everybody should get equally everything. So the consumption was planned. Not only generation of the wealth, but even the consumption of the wealth was planned. And what happened? That they just got, large organizations, very high efficiency, very high bonded labor, but they lost on the human beings. The people in Chinese companies aren't happy. They are bonded laborers, they are brought from the villages, they stay in the factories, the families in the villages, they have to work 18 hours per day and they cannot get out also. So what Chinese people do, they get up at 6 o'clock, they take a large sip of some wine or some alcohol, they work whole day, they come back, eat some food, have another alcohol and sleep. Now would you call that as a success? I wouldn't. So these two models. Now what was this? The belief was that you have to be heroic in the Western model, and in the Chinese model it was that it must be common good and very orderly stuff, and there has to be perfect balance between yin and yang. The good and bad must be absolutely balanced, and somehow we have to achieve the success. What happened to Indian thought? This is one side and this is the other side. In India, it was neither individualistic nor common good, because capitalism is individualistic and the Chinese model or Russian model was common good. We were neither taking this nor that, and we said both are good, both are bad. We don't know. Yeah, this is typical Indian way of thinking because of our past. And we always say that there is nothing right and nothing wrong, as long as you get the result. I'll give you one classic example from how the belief system affects the working. All of us know Ram. Ram always followed the rules, always followed the dharma, and was a great hero for all of us. Krishna broke many rules, but he is still our hero. Krishna did not follow the dharma always, but we say, oh okay, it's fine, but as long as he did it for the good, it's acceptable and he is still our hero. Similarly, Ravana and Duryodhana are villains, right? But you would see the history, both of them followed the rules very meticulously. So we say that if following rules does not mean that you are good or bad, then why follow rules? So in the Indian organization systems, we don't follow always the norms. But the Americans will follow the norm perfectly for achieving the goal of the owner, and in China they will follow, otherwise they will be out the next morning. So this happened very interestingly, that in India everything is right, everything is wrong, nothing is wrong, nothing is right, everything falls in place, nothing falls in place, and confusion is allowed. So then I thought that can India adopt Western model, or should India adopt the Eastern model, or we need something else, some other model, or a mix of both? I don't know, really I don't know. This is the thought I want to give it to you today, that what should be the DNA of our business. And perhaps we have some good examples in India from the past and also from the present that makes sense as a right model for business. Because the goals of the business, something is wrong. What are the goals of normally the business? One is profit. Most important, yeah? Because the shareholders must get their profits and the employees must get their benefit, the customer must get the value, and if you are becoming very successful, you must show that you are also caring for the society, so you have corporate social responsibility departments. With due regard to the madam here, nothing against you. But most of the capitalistic companies in the capitalistic countries have CSR as a tool for showing that they care. It's not because they care. There may be an element of honesty, I don't deny that, but more or less it's an advertising element. So I was thinking seriously that, okay, if this model is not good for us, this model is not good for us, so what is good for us? Really. And this is the thought that I wanted to put in front of you. In other words, the Western model is like the Ranabhumi we call, no? That is a war. It's a war. It's a Ranabhumi. The Eastern model is Rangabhumi. Everything is a drama. Everything is a drama. You know that Chinese man may be very upset, but in front of boss, he cannot show his expressions. So he's playing a drama. I am your employee and I will be always happy, and then he smiles, even if he is very upset. So if it is, that is Ranabhumi and this is Rangabhumi, the two models, what is ours? Confused Bhumi, something like that. Yeah, really, we are confused Bhumi. And this is where, I felt that we need to really, I don't know, I don't have the answer, sorry to say that, but I don't have the answer to say what is the best model for business world over, not only here, but world over. But some thoughts came to my mind and I wanted to say that, these are the things. I want to summarize quickly, profits is the one goal of the business today. You can lie for that, it's allowed. You can be Hippocratic, it's allowed. You can cheat the customers, it's perfectly fine as long as the profits go and the shareholder value is good. You can have environmental disaster because the earth is not asking you money. So you can take water, the coal, the steel, whatever you want, and you can use it. You can spoil the environment, nobody is going to question you. If they question, do some little work and you can convince them. Wonderful, no? This is the business, and then they ask you, manage this. They make a business model and all the management students will be asked, manage this business and get me the profits. So what will happen? I'm not scaring the youngsters who are coming first time in the school, but that's what will happen with you, all of you. So I will tell you, sorry, sir, if somebody is sleeping, let me know, okay, just raise your hand. Okay, I want to tell you quickly a story. You might have heard this story, the King Janaka was supposed to be the Rajarshi. That means he was Raja and the Rishi at the same time. Symbolically it is said that he used to keep his one foot on the dais and one foot in the fire and wanted to be comfortable in both the feet. Symbolically, okay, so we can understand that. Now one day what happened, he was sitting in the assembly hall and he just fell asleep. They were discussing very important things and he just fell asleep and he saw a dream. What was the dream? That he became very poor, such a pauper that he did not have a bread to eat, and he was going on the road and he stole a bread from one guy for eating because he was so hungry. Raja Janaka, can you imagine? He was one of the richest person in the world perhaps, but this happened to him. Then he suddenly woke up and then he saw, oh my God, this was only a dream, thank God. But there it did not stop. What he did, he asked the question to entire assembly. He said, I had such a lousy dream and I was really stealing the bread and what could be the reason and who can explain me this phenomenon? Because I am such a rich man and why I am getting such a dream? Even in my dream, it shouldn't happen. So he called, there was a 16-year-old boy, 13 years old, Ashtavakra, and then Ashtavakra came to his assembly and he told Ashtavakra Gita that time. We will not get into Ashtavakra Gita, otherwise we will all become difficult people here. So I want to just give a message that this is the situation today. Even the richest of the owner of a company today can get such a dream. He is very insecure. He doesn't know when what will happen. Uncertainty is at the peak. And if this is the situation, are we really working for all this stuff? Neither this business model is good, nor that business model is good. We are not able to find the third business model which is good for the mankind and overall good of the people and the whole society and environment. Then what the hell are we doing? This is the question which came to my mind. I think this is really serious, that we must think about it. And as I said, I have no solution, but what I can do is, I have some ideas which I will share with you, and I would request such institutes to really start thinking on this, whether there is a better business model. What we want students to manage, what we want managers to manage, what we want really, the business community to manage. And there is an Indian thought which came that, for example, in our old scriptures, they have said about a model of dharma, artha, kama and moksha. Yeah, 4 things. Now what I feel is that this might sound very oldish and orthodox and something, but sorry guys, the knowledge is a circle. So if you think that you have got a fantastic knowledge on human resource management, HRM, you got 75% marks, and then now you can manage all the people, there is something why then all the people are stressed? So much so that there are divorces because of IT industry, and there are big issues in the family. There are no time for the husband and wife, no time for children. We are distorting the brains. What is happening? Something is wrong, yeah? So there is no point in saying, oh, this is oldish. The point is to take what is the matter in that, what is the funda in that. So they said that, our rishis said, because they were thinking very deeply, they said that if you do these 4 things, everything is balanced. And you can do everything still in a good way. So what they said dharma, artha, kama and moksha. So means what? Now how to apply this in the personal life, that is known. It is personally, everybody does it and should do it. But I am thinking how this can be applied to an organization. So if there is an organization, so I am taking kama first. Kama means desires and aspirations. Yeah. So organization desire and aspiration should be what? So I am saying that it should not be only profit, but profit for the growth. And growth for the sake of good of the society. Can we think that organizations are responsible for society? And fully, not little bit. This could be one possibility. That is you define your aspirations and not the goals. Then how to do the work? That is about dharma. So first of all, righteousness. It is important that the organizations take policy decisions which are right, which are ethically correct. If they do that, I think organizations will be happy and they will really progress very well. Then they should cooperate, not compete. This is going to invite stones at me, or I don't know, shoes. But believe me guys, competition has done more damage than the good. I'll give you one quick example, that automotive industry, if you combine the R&D budget of all the automotive industry, it is unaffordable by the same industry. And that is why 70% of automotive industry are making losses. Only 30% make profit. This is startling but true. Because they fight with each other. You see 20 models of 1000cc cars and 30 models of this. You see that story? You are also confused what to buy. And ultimately everybody spends billions of dollars to design the same looking car. They don't share the engines because of competition, no cooperation. But now it is starting. Now they are thinking, Fiat, General Motors, Suzuki, Tata Motors are sharing same engine which is produced by Fiat. You will be surprised, the vehicle looks different but the engine is same. And this has to be done. So cooperation over competition could be a right way to do. Then it should be give and get, not give and take. So you give something, then you get something, but not take it. So you know the Colgate story, I will just lighten the thing. The Colgate, perhaps you know this, that the paste Colgate we use every day, they did a research that profit had to be increased and shareholder value was to be increased, so the mouth of the tube was increased in diameter. So that when you put it on the brush, you will get more tube, more paste, and they will consume fast. And their sale was going up. What is this exactly? What we are doing exactly? I mean, they made a calculation that the cylinder's volume depends on the diameter, not on the height, blah blah blah. You know, this is not the model, in my opinion. It has to be done. Then another thing I want to quickly say is about in dharma is that if we can work like the karma yogi. Karma yogi means what? He doesn't bother about the goals so much and works. Now this is really tough to understand, but if you are all running in a race and you focus on running, winning the race, you may not win. But if you focus on running your best, you will run your best. And if you run your best, you may win. This is karma yoga. So if you, of course you should know your goal, but it doesn't mean that every moment you look at the goal. Lastly, what is the artha? Artha is very important for the business. Yeah, you need profits, you need common good, you need money to be rotating. All that is fine. I mean, there are rules for money which will really take you far. And what is the moksha for organization? You know, very important subject. For a man, when he dies, that is supposed to be moksha. He might go to heaven, hell, I don't know where it will, depending upon his capitalist, communist or confused. But moksha for an organization could be that you end up your organization into a trust. One possible solution. Or you become a society, or you become the company owned by all employees. I don't know, something to, because ultimately your son will take over, but most of the capitalist people I have seen, they don't have children who want to do their father's business. Do you know this story? That they don't want to do his father's business because he sees the agony of his father every day. So this is the situation. So moksha for the organization could be that you can convert yourself into a trust or for a common good of the people. The kama could be the aspiration for common good and doing best for the society. And artha can be the common rules of the Ashta Lakshmi that we call, not single Lakshmi, that money. But please read, if possible, what is the concept of Ashtalakshmi. They are said that there are 8 Lakshmis, not one. Money is only one of that. Then there are 7 others. So try to get into that, what it means. And if we do these things, I think we could perhaps work out something called as Indian Harmonic Management. I just coined a term. Indian Harmonic Management perhaps can work out some good model for the business, and then you will find that you will find Bill Gates little different. He will, if they have this kind of goals, or you will find Steve Jobs in a different light, and then really the business will serve its purpose towards humanity. Ultimately, we are doing something good to the humanity. With these words, I want to complete my talk. Thanks for listening patiently.